Assalamu alaikum dear students, you are again welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we will discuss the textual questions and language work of the story The Tempest part first at page number 40 and 41. First of all we will discuss the textual questions and after that we will discuss the language work of this lesson also. आप अपनी टेक्स्ट बुक खोलिए एट पेज नंबर 40 पर। मैंने सिर्फ आंसर्स लिखे हैं, क्वेश्चंस आप अपनी टेक्स्ट बुक से लिखोगे। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, हु वाज एरियल एंड हाउ डिड he come to be Prospero's servant? Ariel was a spirit who was commanded by Prospero by means of his magic. When Prospero had come to the island 12 years before, he had released Ariel from the heart of a pine tree. Ariel was imprisoned there by a witch named Sycorax, who had died without releasing him. So Ariel became Prospero's faithful servant and carried out his orders. Question number 2, who was Calibon? What did he look like? Calibon was the son of a witch named Sycorax, who used to live on the island before Prospero came there. He hardly looked a human being, looked like a human being, and looked more like a fish. He hardly looked a human being and looked more like a fish. Then we have question number 3. What did Miranda ask Prospero to do when she saw the ship caught in the tempest? Miranda asked Prospero to stop the tempest immediately so that no sailor might lose his life. She also said that she could not bear the cries of the drowning sailors. Question number 4. What did Prospero say he raised the tempest for? Prospero said that he raised the tempest for the sake of Miranda only, but at that time he did not explain how the tempest was raised for her. Question number 5. Why did Prospero leave the management of state affairs to Antonio? Prospero left the management of state of affairs to his brother Antonio as he himself wanted to gain more and more knowledge. Wealth and worldly possessions hardly mattered to him. Then we have question number 6. Who helped Antonio to seize the throne? King of Naples, Prospero's enemy. ये Prospero का एक दुश्मन था. Helped Antonio to seize the throne of Prospero. What? Question number 7. What did Antonio's soldiers do? Antonio's soldiers took Prospero out from his palace one dark night along with his small daughter who was crying in his arms. They did not dare to kill him openly and so put them into an old and damaged ship that could hardly float and left them to perish at sea. Then we have question number 8. How did old Gonzalo help Prospero? Old Gonzalo was loyal to Prospero at heart. Who was loyal to Prospero at heart secretly stored the ship with fresh water, food, clothes, and his books, which Prospero valued more than his dukedom. These things saved Prospero and his daughter from hunger till they reached to a safe place. Then we have question number 9. Who was in the ship that was caught in the tempest? All enemies of Prospero, including his brother Antonio, his son Ferdinand, the king of Naples, and Prospero's loyal friend Gonzalo, were in the ship that was caught in the tempest. Now the last question. What did Ariel remind Prospero of when Prospero mentioned more work? Ariel reminded Prospero of his promise, the promise of freedom of Ariel, when Prospero mentioned more work. These were 10 questions of this lesson. Now the language work at page number 40. This paragraph is about actually रिसाइकलिंग. रिसाइकलिंग हम उस प्रोसेस को कहते हैं जब हम कोई चीज़ दोबारा इस्तेमाल करते हैं. दोबारा इस्तेमाल करने के 2 तरीके हैं. या तो वो नया बनाया जाता है उसी पुराने चीज़ से, या तो वो रीयूज़ होता है. रिसाइकलिंग इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर आवर एनवायरनमेंट, फॉर आवर रिसोर्सेज, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज, खासकर जो ट्रीज़ है या बाकी चीज़ें हैं जो हमारे नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज हैं उनके लिए रिसाइकलिंग बहुत ही बड़ी चीज़ है। इससे हमारे नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज भी बच जाते हैं और हमारी जो अर्थ है वो भी पोल्यूशन से बच जाती है। नाउ लेट्स रीड व्हाट दिस पैराग्राफ सेज अबाउट दिस रिसाइकलिंग. Recycling can be defined as the collection and separation of materials from the waste products and their subsequent reuse और प्रोसेसिंग टू प्रोड्यूस है मार्केटेबल प्रोडक्ट. या तो उनको रीयूज किया जाता है या उनको नया प्रोडक्ट बनाया जाता है जो मार्केट में फिर बिक जाता है. इन अदर वर्ड्स इट इज द यूज ऑफ मटीरियल्स ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन. Waste from homes and factories contain valuable things which can be recycled as plastic, paper, metal, biogas, and manure. Biogas is used as fuel for cooking. Biogas जो हम waste product से बनाते हैं, it is used for cooking. Paper and cardboard are made of pulpwood. Wood से बनता है paper and cardboard. For every ton of waste paper collected and recycled, two trees are saved. जब हम पेपर पुराने पेपर से बनाते हैं या कार्डबोर्ड पुराने कार्डबोर्ड से बनाते हैं तो हम ट्रीज को बचा सकते हैं. 1 टन वेस्ट पेपर से हम 2 ट्रीज को बचा सकते हैं. रिसाइकलिंग आल्सो सेव्स एनर्जी एंड रॉ मटेरियल्स. इससे हमारी एनर्जी भी बच जाती है और मटेरियल भी बन जाता है, रिसोर्सेज. Aluminium uses a lot of energy. Every time you throw away an aluminum can, it is like throwing away the same amount of energy as in half a can of petrol. Aluminium को भी अगर हम रिसाइकल करें तो हम बहुत चीज़ें बचा सकते हैं. Recycling glass means a pure sandpits and limestone quarries are needed. इसी तरह ये जो गिलास है, ये जो बाकी लाइमस्टोन या और ये रॉक्स है, मेटल्स है, अगर हम उनको रिसाइकल करें तो हम नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज को बचा सकते हैं. एज रॉ मटीरियल्स आर बिकमिंग scarce and expensive and as air, land and water pollution are posing threat to mankind. जैसे कि मैंने पहले ही आपको बताया, इससे हमारे नेचुरल रिसोर्स भी बच सकते हैं और हमारी ज़मीन भी पोल्यूशन से बच सकती है. इट बिकम्स इंक्रीजिंगली नेसेसरी टू रिसाइकल. लिहाजा रिसाइकल अब एक ज़रूरत बन चुकी है. रिसाइकलिंग प्लास्टिक बोटल्स सेव 60% एनर्जी नीडेड टू मेक न्यू बोटल्स. अगर हम प्लास्टिक बोटल्स को रिसाइकल करें, उनसे नई बोटल्स बनाए तो हमारी एनर्जी भी बच जाती है, मैन पावर भी बच जाता है और रिसोर्सेज भी बच जाता है. इसके अलावा ये जो पोल्यूशन है वो भी ख़त्म हो सकता है. 70% एनर्जी कैन बी सेव्ड इन मेकिंग न्यू स्टील फ्रॉम स्क्रैप. 70% स्टील इज मेड फ्रॉम रिसाइकलिंग द ओल्ड दिस स्टील. Recycling of 1 ton of aluminum reduces emission of aluminum fluoride into air by 35 kgs. इससे हमारा पोल्यूशन भी कम होता है. जब हम नई चीज़ें बनाने के बदले पुरानी चीज़ों को ही नई चीज़ें बनाते हैं तो हमारा ये जो इमिशन है, ये जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड निकलता है, एल्यूमिनियम फ्लोराइड निकलता है, वो भी कम होता है. Complete the following. These 5 fill in the blanks are regarding this paragraph. First one, using the materials repeatedly in different forms is called recycling. Trees are saved by recycling waste paper. अगर हम waste paper को या कार्डबोर्ड्स को दोबारा इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो हम ट्रीज को बचा सकते हैं क्योंकि पेपर ट्रीज से बनता है. और रिसाइकलिंग ऑल्सो सेव्स एनर्जी एंड रॉ मटेरियल. यहाँ हम नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज भी लिख सकते हैं. Presence of any undesirable or contaminated substance in the environment is called waste. Half a can of petrol can be saved by reusing an aluminum can. Now, page number 41. Page number 41. Write the synonyms of the following and make sentences of your own. पहले आपको synonyms बताने हैं इन words के. 5 words है: scarce, expensive, save, pose, produce. और फिर उनके sentence भी बनाने हैं. For example, First one is scarce. That means बहुत ही कम. इसका आएगा रियर. मैंने ऊपर लिखा है रियर. रियर का भी मैंने सेंटेंस बनाया है. स्कॉस का भी मैंने बनाया है. स्कॉस. It is a rare book. Scarce. It was wartime and food was scarce. Then we have expensive. इसका आएगा costly. This watch is very expensive. Costly. It is a costly mobile. Third one, save. Let us save our forests. इसका आएगा protect. Parents try to protect their children from danger as far as possible. Then we have pose. Pose का आएगा they act. Pose का आएगा act. They posed for a group photograph. Act. He acted in a drama. Now the last one यहाँ मैंने भी लिखा है produce side में. Produce का आएगा grow भी. Produce as noun भी इस्तेमाल होता है जब produce हम फसल को कहते हैं. But here I have used it as this verb. Produce. He produced his documents. Grow. He grows many varieties of mangoes. Use the following phrases and idioms in sentences of your own. For one's sake. अपने लिए या किसी और के लिए. He spoke a lie for his brother's sake. In favor of. किसी के फेवर में कुछ कहना. He spoke in favor of his friend. In the midst of. बिल्कुल बीच में. He stopped in the midst of his speech. Keep one's head. No one kept his head during the earthquake. अपने आप को होश में रखना. On one's hand. I have an empty house on my hands. बिल्कुल मेरे इस वक्त मेरे पास है. Remind आप किसी को याद दिलाना. His activities reminded me of my friend. Find from the lesson words which mean the following. One word substitution जिनको हम कहते हैं. Without companions, a long way from men and life. Lonely इसको कहते हैं. Nothing more than only इसको mere कहते हैं. Cause to rise or appear. Bring about, raise उठाना. Set free किसी को आज़ाद करना. इसको release कहते हैं. Try hard against difficulties. Fight. Struggle इसको कहते हैं. Appraise meaning in the middle of, part of, in the midst of. Be destroyed, lose life. Perish इसको कहते हैं. Think that one owns possession during that time. Meanwhile, be bold or brave enough to do something dear. Spoiled or broken, so made less useful. Damaged. Cause to remember, bring to the mind, remind. That is to say, the same as, just as. Make nouns of the following adjectives and verbs. Loyal. ये adjective है. उसको of the following adjectives and verbs. Loyal. उसका बन जाएगा loyalty. Favor. Favorite और favoritism दोनों ठीक है. Perform. Performance. Struggle. Struggle का struggle ही बनेगा. Magical. Magic. Plot. इसका बन जाएगा plot. Now the last question of this lesson at page number 42. Write briefly how Antonio tried to get rid of Prospero and how Prospero escaped death. एक तरह से समरी है इस लेसन की. Prospero एंटोनियो ने किस तरह प्रॉस्पेरो को मारने की कोशिश की और प्रॉस्पेरो किस तरह बच गया. यहाँ मैंने लिखा है ये इस क्वेश्चन का ये आंसर. Prospero was Duke of Milan. Knowledge was his chief aim. Wealth and worldly possessions hardly mattered to him. So he left the management of state of affairs to his brother Antonio, whose loyalty he never doubted, and devoted all his time to studies. Meanwhile, Antonio grew greedy for power and possessions. He bribed some ministers and plotted against his brother Prospero. King of Naples, Prospero's enemy, also helped him in this act. One dark night, the soldiers of Antonio took Prospero out of his palace, along with his small daughter. They did not dare to kill them openly and so put them into an old and damaged ship that could hardly float and left them to perish at sea. But there was a kind old man named Gonzalo who was Prospero's friend and was loyal to Prospero at heart and was not in favor of Antonio's plot. He secretly stored the ship with fresh water, food, clothes, and books, which were more valuable to Prospero than his dukedom. Driven by favorable winds, the ship floated to a lonely island, and thus Prospero and his daughter were saved. This was all about this Tempest part first. In next video, we will discuss the Tempest part second. And after that we will discuss that exercise also. Till that, goodbye.